So I was given this Philips unit. It's a low-cost home theater setup from years ago. They gave it to me. Somebody gave it to me for either get it working or parts or something. It sat around, and I needed a radio for the shop. And I thought, well, maybe I can get this working. But since it sat around, it had some mildew on the board, and it wouldn't really fire up. The controls in the front wouldn't work. The display didn't work. So I put a little bit too much work into it to get it working. Lo and behold, after I got everything going, the DVD CD drive now doesn't work, which is pretty common for an old CD player. So if you have an old CD player that just doesn't read discs anymore, I'm going to show you hopefully how to possibly get it to work. So you'll see it'll be something like this. That's another problem, is the mechanism is now jammed, which I also have to fix. It's a rabbit hole. Yeah, see, it doesn't even try. So that is what we're going to try to fix. Okay, closer look. It's good to know what you're looking at. This is just the main board. It's got the amplifier. It's all the logic stuff. This is the sound chip. Obviously the disk drive. This is the power supply. You want to stay away from this. Generally, you want to discharge all the capacitors, which are these things. For this, you're going to be staying away from it, so it should be okay. And they have this little protective thing over top of it. So make sure it's unplugged. So what I did, and every CD player, every DVD player is going to be different. But for this one, just to give me more room, I opened the drawer and then pulled the plug. So that gives me more room. This won't be in the way. And that way I don't have to disassemble the whole thing to take the drawer out. First thing to do is clean the laser. All you need is a clean Q-tip. You don't need to wet it. And you just gently clean it. I've done this already. I know this doesn't work for mine. It's clean. But you can then put a disc in and see if that fixes the problem. If so, button it up, you're done. But I know that's not the case here. Let's spin it around. On the back of the laser, or on the back of the reader, back here, now you're going to notice there's this little, see this little ribbon cable? You take these little clips, and pull that out of the way. These are kind of fragile, so just be careful. Again, this is unplugged, and that gets that out of the way. Okay, and on the back of the board, you'll notice there's these two little trimmer pots. These little guys adjust the amount of current going to the laser diode. The way they have it set up is one is for the DVD portion and one is for the CD portion. So there's two things you can do. One, you get a multimeter. There are two posts on the bottom of each and a post in the middle. You put the multimeter in ohms, measure from the top and the bottom right. That way you establish what it was set at originally, and you turn it clockwise very slightly, and then try it again. If you don't have a multimeter, you can do it the, I guess you could say the redneck way, and that is get a fine Sharpie and draw a line on it. Problem is these things are really tiny, so it makes it really difficult. And that's what we're going to try and do right now. The thing is, if you go too far, you're going to burn it out. And the reason for doing this is A, as a reference point, and B, if you ever have to go back to the way it was stock, that's your reference point. But the thing is, it doesn't work as it is, so if you burn it out, who cares? Alright. That is way too small. I gotta find a screwdriver to fit that. Now if you can find a screwdriver small enough, you can use that to make the adjustment. Otherwise, I'm just going to use just a small blade. Actually, it's a large blade, but it has a pretty fine tip. And you can just put it in there. You can feel where it grabs. My fingers out of the way so you can see. And you're just going to turn it, I mean, it's going to be just a hair. You're not even going to barely feel it turn. You just want to go in small increments and test it out to see if it works. You don't want to go too far because you don't want to put too much current through the laser diode. If you do, you could possibly burn it out. These are already set at the factory, usually close to or at the limit of the laser diode, so you're actually going to be pushing it beyond its limits. Again, I don't have the limits for what's actually in here. I don't have the specs for this board or the actual diode. I haven't pulled it out to look, but that's my guess. Over time, the output diminishes, so you can push it a little bit harder to get some more life out of it. So I'm just going to turn this, see if I can get it to grab. And I'm not even sure if you can see this on camera. I'm going to turn them both just a little bit. And so we're going to take ribbon cable. And I'm just going to put it back in here. And you lock this in place just by pushing that closed. Something from the board so that you could wouldn't be interrupted by the camera. And let's see if it works. Now it's loading. It actually didn't do that last time. There you go. Fixed. And this is just YouTube music, so there's no demonetization or anything. So, it's an easy fix. So if you have an old CD player, DVD player, that it's an easy fix to buy you some more time.